You need to get a real job. That's just a hobby.
Anyone with a smartphone can shoot videos these days.
Why not pick a career with more stability?
Isn't it just pressing a record button?
It's a very competitive field.
How's your little business going?
You're not going to make it.
2024, baby. Time to step up the game. A very happy new year to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in to what is officially the first video of 2024. I did release a trailer to my upcoming movie a couple of days ago. Hope you've watched it, hope you've enjoyed it. But yeah, this is it. New year, new me, new style, sort of, really. The studio quite clearly needs a bit of a tidy up. It's got a lot of post-Christmas boxes and stuff just sort of like stored in here at the moment. So that's probably today's job. But welcome to Benham Media. If you are new to the channel, my name is Nathan. And like I said, it's an absolute pleasure to have each and every single one of you with me. And yeah, welcome to the new year. What can we do? What can we expect? What can we strive to perfect or better or improve on from what we did last year? Because last year was in fact a very, very good year for me. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you saw my last video, which is sort of like a recap of 2023, but yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better year, really. So moving forward, let's try to carry on with the same sort of like routine and then just sort of like up the game a little bit. Best way that we can. So 2024 could be potentially an exciting year for all of us. The wonderful things about New Year is that there's a great opportunity to improve, to start off fresh, to start off new, and that is something which we can all strive for in the new year. It's the wonderful thing that clock strikes sort of midnight and all of a sudden we hit the reset button. You know, is there a career that you want to get yourself into? Is there a hobby that you want to start? And is there a potentially hobby that could turn into a career, which is pretty much what I'm achieving at the moment. And I have to tell you that I'm enjoying every single second of it. So let's just concentrate on that for the time being. I'm not gonna make this video long. I'm not gonna do too much. I've quite clearly got a lot of work that I need to do within this studio before I can actually start operating and working for. But yeah, guys, I want you to take a week, take a breath. Like I've had the last week or so to, mainly because my kids are still off school. So I've decided not to sort of go straight into trying to work again. Really, I've done a couple of little things these last couple of days. I'm obviously quite clearly shooting the video right now, but I'm still enjoying the holiday festives, which involves my children being off school and having a bit of fun with them, watching crappy TV, watching them enjoy their new toys and how they like to play. And yeah, next week is when I'm gonna hit the ground running. But I've spent this week putting in a little bit of groundwork, putting a little bit of sort of like thought in how I want to start building and laying the next layer on top of the foundations that I built last year. And there are a few new adventures which I'm going to try to improve on and try to sort of grow on so I can continue to make this my job. Which I think if you are planning on a bit of a career change, if you are planning on a sort of like a sideward step or a forward step, take some time, take this moment to try to sort of plan it ahead. I know in the past I have sort of said, you know, start before you know, which still sort of stands in this type of situation, still sort of like counts, you know, because you don't know if you're going to be good at something unless you start doing it. So don't try to perfect what you're doing before you start it, but start putting a little bit of groundwork. And what I mean by that is set your goals. Don't just set the one goal. Don't just set like, this is what I want to do. Set a couple, set a few smaller goals that you can start sort of ticking off a list. Even make a list. So this is what I want to achieve, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to sort of be within 6-12 months time. Because remember, you can't just do this in one sort of sitting. You can't just sort of go, right, I want to change something or I want to improve in something. And it could be anything from photography to filmmaking to even knitting. You know, you're not going to sit there and knit a quilt in the first week. So with everything you want to sort of improve on, that bonus that you want to try to get at work, the promotion you want to try to get at work, you know, are you saving up for a new car? Do you want to be debt free by the end of the year? Like, there are so many goals, and there are ways that you can start ticking off things and try to sort of like move forward. So have a think, take some time, make a list and go, how can I improve the ultimate goal? How can I get to that little moment? And this is the month to start doing it. This is the month where you can go, right, I'm just gonna go on autopilot for a little while and then start planning going forward. We've got an entire 12 months to sit there and look back and go, right, I finally did it. I actually did what I set out to do. And even if it is just a small goal, even if it's just a little bit, I want to own a car or I want to buy a house. And I know in the modern society, that's not necessarily a small goal. Buying a house is ridiculous. That's my 5-year goal, is buying a house, especially in London. Like, it's ridiculous. But you know, we've started to sort of like bring the parameters out a little bit, that yeah, we want our next home to be our home, one that we've actually put a deposit down and we're paying a mortgage rather than renting. But instead of it going, right, we're going to be in London based, we don't feel that we are constantly connected to London anymore. Like, I love the city, but because I'm not getting up every single day to travel into work, we're not connected to anymore. So we've stretched our parameters a little bit and go, let's start looking at houses outside of London, because obviously they're going to be a bit cheaper, but have that sort of reach going forward. But what I mean by them being a smaller goal is that they are quite achievable. Of course, you don't need to buy a brand spanking new car. Of course, you don't need to sort of buy a sort of like a home, you know, it could be a flat, or I'm sort of getting into my own head about that type of thing. But they don't need to be life-changing goals. If you've got a small goal, then go for it. If you've got a passion, something that you want to do, go for it. I'm going to refer back to potentially my first video of last year, which set me on a motion going forward. And I might even leave it up here somewhere. And it is a quote from Dwayne Johnson. It's, instead of going one day, say day one. And it did. It made me and Phoenix strive last year. We made so many new things. We had so many day ones of 2023 that eventually we are now in day 407. And it feels so good. So make this day your day one. Make this day the moment when you go, right, I am going to try to strive for something. I want to take off photography, but I don't know how. Channels like this will help. There are many YouTube videos out there that can help. You might think that you need the best camera. You think you might need all this gear. Start out small. Start out tiny with your camera phone and then grow to it. So yeah, that's this one really. I'm not gonna do too much. I've got a lot of things that I need to do. But guys, I just wanted to say a quick hello and a happy new year to each and every single one of you. And quite simply got to go, you know, this is your moment to redevelop, to stretch out, to go, right, I'm ready for the next stage of my life. Incidentally, if you are happy where you are, brilliant, fantastic, well done, you've won. Congratulations. So pleased for you. And I hope it continues. But until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your January. I'm sure I'm going to see you hopefully very soon. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and I'm going to go out and clean this place up and start planning my next adventure. See you later.